Hi, my name is Kaylee Calandro, and this is my presentation over differentiation and engagement. A little introduction about myself is that I currently live in Missouri with my husband, 2 dogs, and 2 sons. I have taught an array of ages from preschool to 5th grade to currently teaching 1st grade. I've taught a large demographic of students in the 2 districts that I have been in. This includes their socioeconomical status, race, gender, etc. I'm confident in my ability to build relationships with students, and I'm able to teach students in a way that benefits them. If something is not working in my classroom, I am flexible and able to switch up what I am doing to ensure my students are grasping the topics at hand. The letters training that I've been enrolled in this year has provided me with confidence in brain-based learning and especially young readers. What is differentiation? Differentiation is becoming a harder task for teachers everywhere to do. It requires a lot from the teacher to keep up with. Differentiation relates to brain-based learning because we look at how the brain works specifically. We are making sure our students create the pathways and connections in their brain. This is why differentiation is not just making sure we reteach a lesson, but teaching a lesson in a new way. Students often benefit from the hands-on approach because it creates more pathways and cognitive stimulation. Differentiation also helps our students to reach their higher level of thinking while maintaining a learning environment for all. Strategy number 1 for differentiation into a brain-based learning classroom. A flexible learning environment is an environment where the student is in charge. As teachers, we are given priority standards that need to be taught by the end of the school year. Giving the students the chance to pick where they want to sit in the room while they do an assigned assignment is what differentiation is. Whether it be sitting at their own desk, sitting on the floor, in the chair, in a beanbag, something is allowing students to have the ability to move is differentiation. Strategy number 2 for differentiation into brain-based learning. This is creating more hands-on experiences, allowing students the opportunity to come up with their own movements, hand gestures, signing, allows the student the ability to make their learning objectives into their long-term memory. By having students come up with their movements, it releases the chemical neopyephrine. This is the chemical that is produced for learning and for movement. It creates a pathway for both. What is engagement? As a teacher, something I do every single morning is greet each of my students individually. I wait at my door until the last student walks in. This little gesture creates an engaging environment. How, you may ask? It increases students' serotonin levels. This is just one of the few chemicals in the brain that helps to stimulate and make the brain engaged. The brain being engaged first thing in the morning helps the students to concentrate and want to learn. How does engagement relate to brain-based learning? Serotonin is what sets our mood up for success. Without serotonin, your body is anxious or maybe even depressed. As a student, as a teacher, this is why I always welcome my students. It sets the tone for the day. Cortisol is our body's fight or flight mode. Too much cortisol results in students shutting down and not focusing. We as educators need to make sure that we are creating strong relationships with our students to maintain low cortisol levels. These students are coming in from different backgrounds, and so it's important for us to maintain a healthy, safe environment for them. Dopamine is what is released when we are rewarded. Our brains love to receive rewards. As educators, we need to make sure we are always telling our students what we appreciate and how they are doing a good job in class. The last chemical in the brain is neopyephrine. I talked about this earlier. Neopyephrine is the same chemical that is released with the movement as you learn, creating pathways for long-term memory. Turning on a brain bake, having students do the think, pair, share. Allowing students to create a movement when they are learning something new are all ways to release this chemical. Each of these chemicals directly relate to the engagement in brain-based learning. Without these chemicals allowing for brain activity and brain-based learning, they are unable to be engaged and get anything from the lessons being taught. Strategy number 1 for engagement into the brain-based learning classroom. Something as simple as a welcome chart. I talked about this earlier. As a teacher, one way to get our students excited and ready for learning is to greet our students every morning. I have a welcome chart that sits out of my room that each student is able to choose what they want to do. They can do a high five, a hug, a dance move, so on and so forth. I let them choose from the chart that they want to do. This produces serotonin for better brain activity. I also tell each student goodbye at the end of the day, and they are not allowed to leave my room until they say goodbye. Strategy number 2 for engagement into brain-based learning classroom. This is creating a reward system. This can look different in many different school districts. Our school is a PBS school, and we have things called stars. Each student is able to earn them, and they can buy different things with them. Each Friday we count our stars, and they are able to pick. They earn stars by being kind to friends, sharing, set a good example for others. I also have a treasure box in my room that I allow students to choose from every so often. Something I implemented this year was my chickens. I have 20 chickens a day, and if they can keep all of them by the end of the day, then the class as a whole receives a reward. I wanted to thank you for coming to my presentation.